Everywhere you look, the rich history of the United Kingdom is there to be seen. But hidden beneath our feet, there's still a wealth of archaeological treasure just waiting to be found. That's why each year, all across the country, our archaeologists dig, dive, and explore their way down.
Oh my God! That's some of the best stuff you're ever going to see.
Oh wow.
Look at this.
We got an arrowhead.
Searching for fresh discoveries.
Hypercaust.
Revealing the imprint of ancient civilizations.
It's been there for 5,500 years.
And unearthing fascinating objects.
Fantastic decoration. Any musket balls yet, Aaron?
Wow, look at that! Every dig adds new pieces to the ever-growing archaeological jigsaw that is the epic story of our islands.
And I'm down.
This year I visit digs in some extraordinary locations and solve mysteries using cutting-edge tools.
Oh, this is wonderful.
I'm joined by a trio of expert investigators.
So you can see how that gives you a really unique signature.
That's right. Excellent. So they were using food as a type of bribery.
Who dig deeper to answer the questions raised by the finds.
That's how he got away with it.
Exactly.
Finally, the archaeologists bring their best discoveries into our tent.
Yeah, it's a cracking find.
For up-close analysis. So it's completely unique impression, that's wonderful. Welcome to Digging for Britain. This time we take a look at the most exciting archaeology being uncovered in the west of the UK. In Herefordshire, we unearth the secrets beneath one of Britain's most mystical monuments.
It's extraordinary because what we can see on the surface literally is just the tip of the iceberg.
The mystery of a long-lost friary in Haverfordwest is finally solved.
We think it's a priest burial and it is rare. I've never seen it before.
Oh my God! That's some of the best stuff you're ever going to see.
What?
Oh my God!
And in Cheshire, I dig deep.
Oh, this is getting a bit narrow.
Going down a mine that's been untouched for centuries.
Is that an old collapse? It's
An
not a
old
recent
collapse.
collapse. No, good.
Very
Yes.
old collapse.
Travel west from Middle England and mid-Wales rises up as the Black Mountains. The rains that fall here become streams and then rivers, and eventually they flow along the floodplains of the Golden Valley back into England. Our first dig is on that border between England and Wales, near a village called Dalston in Herefordshire.
The crown jewel of this ancient landscape is up here on the crest of the hill. It is Arthur's stone. And it has nothing to do with that entirely mythical king, of course. Instead, it's a Neolithic monument that's been here for thousands of years.
Around 6,000 years ago, Britain's hunter-gatherers were replaced by farmers. The Neolithic was the final phase of the Stone Age. Arthur's stone is a chambered tomb called a dolmen, and its construction is thought to predate Stonehenge. So no surprise then, it's also a scheduled ancient monument protected by law. No in-depth archaeology has ever happened here, and so these great stones, their purpose and how they connect to the land that surrounds them is a mystery. But this year, Manchester University's Julian Thomas got permission to undertake a major investigation.
Julian, you're here because there are unanswered questions.
Yeah, this site, considering its position so beautifully, we understand very little about it. So we're trying to tease out the history of this site and trying to work out its sequence of construction.
You want to know the real story, but actually there are a lot of myths associated with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's the idea that King Arthur slew a giant here, the giant fell back and broke the capstone, or perhaps he knelt in prayer on top of the capstone. And then more recently, C.S. Lewis took the idea of the stone table on which Aslan is slain from this as well as an inspiration. So it's as if this place seems to attract activity and attract stories.
We've got these stones. What was this? Is this a chamber that was covered up under a mound?
Well, I think what is important there is the capstone as something that's visible, because it's evidence of a feat of mobilising people and mobilising labour, which then almost levitates here as something which is just going to be remarkable to people in the Neolithic.
And is this a capstone that is broken, or is it two stones?
It is a capstone that's broken, and it's entirely possible that it broke during construction.
The two halves of the capstone are supported by upright stones to create a chamber, and there's an entrance corridor at each end. But Julian is not digging amongst these stones, but in the ground around them.
You are actually digging into the mound to see how that was
We're
constructed.
digging into the mound because rather than just a pile of stones, it seems that it's actually been put together in a very careful, very skillful way.
So can we go and have a look in the trenches?
Yeah, let's go this way.
This is unprecedented. It's an incredible opportunity. Julian's team has been allowed to actually excavate in several specific sections of the mound, revealing intricate Neolithic stonework.
Look at this.
Something rather interesting. Look at that. So this is just rubble that's fallen down over the top of it, is it?
Yeah, but underneath it is this surface of dry stone walling, which has been there for 5,500 years.
That is gorgeous. Did you expect it to be there?
Well, we hope there might be something like this, but this is far better than we possibly imagined.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
That's just lovely. And it's got a bit of a curve to it.
Yeah, just defining a quite small forecourt area here.
So this wall is forming a kind of bulbous horseshoe shape.
Yeah, it's going right the way round the mound.
Julian isn't just here to get to the bottom of exactly when and how the mound was built. Experience tells him larger Neolithic features might surround this monument. So his team have opened 2 wide trenches. And now something quite extraordinary is appearing.
And here we've got this avenue of posts coming down and
That's
disappearing.
fantastic. A wonderful line.
Yeah.
A huge post holes. So these would have held really substantial timbers.
Yeah, telegraph poles.
Yeah.
So we've got a line of at least 15 coming down in this direction, and we've got the other side of the avenue coming through in that trench now.
It's extraordinary because it means that what we can see on the surface today, literally is just the tip of the iceberg.
It really is, and we only dug here in the first place because we thought there might be pits or post holes.
The discovery of this impressive ceremonial entranceway suggests there's far more yet to uncover on this site. Normally, scanning and survey techniques on the ground can reveal the best places to dig. But this clay-rich soil is almost impossible to scan through, so the team is using a new technique to see what lies beneath. Adam Stanford is pioneering archaeological surveying using specialised drones.
So Adam, you and Scott are here doing this aerial survey. What does that entail?
First of all, we're doing photogrammetry.
Yeah.
So that means that we're taking lots and lots of photographs that overlap.
I've seen it a lot of trenches on the ground, but you can actually take it up high and do it.
Absolutely. We can survey hundreds of hectares of landscape like that.
Yeah.
Here we're doing around about 40 hectares around Arthur's Stone.
Archaeologists down in the trenches use handheld cameras, but the drone uses GPS to move between hundreds of precise positions, each time snapping a high-resolution image. Then the magic happens as specialist software is used to stitch these pictures together into a 3D model. The result is an extraordinarily detailed and accurate record of one of Britain's most famous ancient monuments.
So what else are you doing apart from photogrammetry?
So Scott's just taken off with another drone which has got a thermal camera on it. So we're looking at the difference in temperature of the ground.
Right.
And so let's say, for example, we've got rocks just below the grass.
Yeah.
That's going to get hot during the day and it's going to retain the heat for longer than the surrounding soils. But then we can see that there are gaps where the geology should continue and then it doesn't. Because it's quarrying for the site here.
So you're seeing features that you don't see on the surface
Absolutely.
walking around.
Then the other technique that we're using is multispectral imaging. So this is looking at the different bands of light that come down and bounce off the ground that we can't see with the human eye.
So what does that tell you?
For a site like this, we're looking at the difference in the amount of chlorophyll in those plants. And the health of the plants, indicated by the chlorophyll, will then tell us if there's anything underneath the ground which is affecting the health of the plants.
So this is seeing crop marks that you can't actually see with the naked eye?
Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing tools for the archaeologists to be able to draw on, not just to record the site, but to plan whatever they're going to do in the future as well.
Adam's survey results are adding to an already huge haul of completely new information that the team are collecting here. It all means that Julian is starting to unpick the real history behind Arthur's stone.
How many phases are you finding then? What's the sequence of events here?
The sequence seems to be we've got our turf mound, which is then cut by this series of post holes. Then we must have the big stone mound, and somewhere in that whole sequence we've got to add the dolmen chamber as well.
Yeah.
So there's 5 or 6 different phases in this whole monumental complex, and all of that is probably taking 200 or 300 years.
I can imagine it's quite a nerve-wracking thing to open it up like this to see what's going on.
Yeah, what is really scary is wherever we've opened up a hole here, we found something completely unexpected.